I didn't. I mean, I had.
Hello.
Everybody.
Good morning from Sewing Workshop. Alex and Betsy here. I actually have a full house right in front of me, so they're all just staring at me. Betsy's here staring at me. You all are staring at me. So, hello, happy Tuesday. And today we're talking about a lot of fun things. One being our fairly new pattern. We actually launched this last month in addition to the Metro skirt. We're going to be talking about the Teagarden Tee. But first, we want to talk about new things we have on our website that we want you guys to check out, our events. So if you head over to sewingworkshop.com and click on events, you're going to see a lot of events. We have a slamming event calendar for 2025. It's a lot of fun.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm going to put up the link for them so they can scoot over there and see what's happening. So, what are we starting? I think our first event is in February.
Yeah,
right?
I think I put these on at the right order. Yeah, we're going to be in Santa Fe again in February. So if you joined us last year, we had Kathy, Linda, Samantha, myself, Betsy. We made fractured jackets, and it was a great, great event. We have already made that event live, and it already has 18 spots filled. So there are a few spots left.
There are a few more, and Santa Fe is incredibly beautiful and inspiring and kind of the perfect place to the room was great. It's really the perfect place to get down and get to work.
It is. So you can check that out on the website. You can see all the details. The hotel is the La Fonda Hotel right in the square of Santa Fe. And we're there for really a full week, Sunday through Friday in February of 2025. And it's a great event because it's just really an event where you go and you are there to make a fractured jacket. So when you sign up for the class, you get access to our fractured jacket online class, where we teach you, before you even come to Santa Fe, how to make 3 different techniques for your fractured jacket. And so you get to come to Santa Fe and just start sewing. It's a full, basically, week of sewing where you make your own version of a fractured jacket. So there was just a lot of participants. Everyone had fun with what they were making. Everyone had fun with playing with their own details, their own techniques. And Kathy and our team, we were all there to just support and inspire and get everyone going. So join us again in February of 2025 for Santa Fe.
Yeah. Then in April, we have a new event on the calendar. Let me go back so you can see it. And this is the sewing workshop in England. We're going back to England. We're going to spend time in the Cotswolds. We're going to spend a little bit of time in London. And we are going to immerse ourselves in textile design with our favorite lady, Sarah Campbell.
Yeah, so it'll be, Betsy and I, we love London, we love England, we love the Cotswolds. And Betsy found a really wonderful countryside manor, maybe perhaps.
A manor. It's a manor.
In the Cotswolds, where we'll be doing some fabric
painting with Sarah. For those of you who don't know, Sarah Campbell is a very famous, well-known fabric designer. She had her own company with her sister, and they did fabrics that were used by Yves Saint Laurent and furnishing houses. And so she is very well known, and her style is to paint directly on the fabric to make her prints. And she is a wonderful teacher who takes you through many steps of many different things you can do. And we are going to work with her on basically making fabric for you to make a project.
Mm-hmm. And right now, it's like Betsy said, based on designing your own fabric and then taking that home to make your own sewing workshop pattern. So
yeah.
After that, we're gonna go over to London and have some fun in London for a few days. So registration is opening soon for that. We're just finalizing some details. So if you go to our website and click on this event, you can sign up for the wait list and you'll get notified when we make this live.
Yeah.
So London in April and
London in
Santa Fe
April.
in February.
So what is next? Oh, Nancy Schreiber.
Oh, Nancy. We had so much fun with Nancy in Cleveland a couple months ago, and we wanted to have her for an exclusive event next year. So she is joining us in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. The event is called Contemporary Sashiko, and it's kind of formatted like our So Kansas events. It's a Tuesday through a Friday, and it's a small group. So we already have some spots filled. We're only taking 8 participants for this workshop, and you're actually coming to a home. We're going to all sit around a table, and Nancy is going to teach us about her process with embroidery, with embellishment, with hand stitching, with slow stitching, and you're going to be embellishing an already finished piece. So you can bring a finished garment with you to this workshop, and that's what you'll be embellishing. And Nancy we'll be talking about design and stencils and how she does that. And so that is in May of 2025 in Eureka Springs. We have booked the something called the Cliff Cottage Inn. So if you want to sign up for this, Cliff Cottage Inn is right next door to the venue, and you can give them a call, book the suite that you want at Cliff Cottage Inn, and it's right next door to where we will be stitching.
Perfect. All right, so that is May, but the hits keep coming, folks. We've got So Kansas next year. We all know it. We love it. We have a couple different sessions, don't we?
Yeah, I think is it May, July, and October. So same format, 3 days of sewing with the sewing workshop team here at our studio, where you get to be inspired by all of our garments, all of our fabrics, patterns, everything is here. And it's just a great time of inspiration and diving into whatever you want to work on. People love So Kansas, and we love So Kansas because it's not necessarily project based. It's just come and sew what you want. Some people don't sew. Some people bring projects they've been working on. Some people come and just get inspired, try things on, buy fabrics, buy patterns while they're here, and start working and fitting through things as they're here. So it's kind of a free for all event, and it's just an open concept event. You're free to do what you would like.
The other thing is, and I think this is a real bonus for people, is that because you're in the studio, you have access to all of our samples for every single garment we've ever made. And so you can try things on and see how patterns work for you before you commit to making them. And because we have so many variations, you can play with, different lengths and different styles that we've used from that pattern. So you get, you get to jump into the closet and play around. And you also get to be hands-on with our fabric collection. It's nice that you can buy fabric online, but let's face facts. We all want to pull it out, touch it, see the drape, do all those things. And so that is the benefit of coming to the studio, because you get your hands on everything.
Exactly. There's nothing like being here in person.
Yeah.
So Kansas, these fill up quick. You can join for 2025. There are 3 dates to choose from for next year, and that is So Kansas. And all of these are live. The only event that's not quite live yet is London. We're just finalizing details. So these are all available and ready to sign up for.
And last but not least, we've got a new wonderful class in Niagara-on-the-Lake in Canada.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. Linda and I went to this cute town last fall in September, and we actually took a painting class. And it's only about a 3-hour drive from Cleveland, where I live. So we drove up there, went over the border. It's just right over the border from Buffalo, New York. And we painted, but we fell in love with the city so much that I just was like, let's see if we can have a sewing event there. So we found this great hotel that's right on the downtown street. It's called the Shaw Club Hotel. So we've booked some rooms in the hotel for you guys to secure rooming. And then we also have our venue is in that same hotel. And we will be making the Hong Kong vest, which is a So Confident project that we're releasing this fall. And we're making it out of an English boucle, which, if you know anything about the sewing workshop, we love this fabric. So we have 14 spots available for Niagara on the Lake. It's from a Sunday through a Thursday. And so we come and we have kind of a welcome ceremony, and then it's Monday through Thursday, our full days of sewing. So even on Thursday, it goes until the end of the day. And so you're kind of there in the venue, sewing, making a Hong Kong vest. And then this town is just so wonderful. We're going to go visit wineries. I think there are over 130 wineries in this region. We're not going to hit all 130 of them, but we're going to go to one.
It'd be quite a crawl.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could if you wanted after you're done sewing.
I'll see what happens.
Yeah. And you'll visit a winery and then just enjoy this beautiful town. It's I think I said it on the website. It's called one of the most beautiful regions, I think, in Canada. So it's just, there's nothing like it. So we think you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy just being in this very slow paced town. It reminds me a lot of Eureka Springs in a way, and it also kind of reminds me of Santa Fe, just much smaller. So it captures that same essence of an event where you just come and sew and relax and enjoy your surroundings and enjoy where you are. So that is available for registration as well. And that's in September. And September is a wonderful time to visit Niagara on the Lake.
We have a comment from Christina who says she lives only 25 minutes from Niagara on the Lake. And she said it's an awesome place with lots of great restaurants, which I am always happy to hear.
Yeah, it is. Well, and as you can probably tell, Sewing Workshop, we love events. And Betsy and I love events. And sewing, we're kind of in a way going back to, I think, the origin of the Sewing Workshop back in San Francisco. We played with some other event opportunities. We were looking in Portland, Maine, and we're always looking in California and just other locations where we can host you all to sew. So just to keep that in mind, we're always looking to find new places, find new venues and locations. And so we're excited for 2025. It's going to be a fun year, even just on the event side. And of course, we always do a good job providing content and new designs and new patterns for you all. So we hope you'll join us for an event in 2025.
It'll be fun. I mean, like sewing and eating in a beautiful place. Is there anything better than that? I don't think so.
Awesome.
Well, speaking of classes, today we are focusing on our upcoming class. It drops this Saturday. Am I right on that?
It does.
For the Teagarden Tee. And that is our So Confident class for May, because it is May. It is no longer April. And I had to think about that. And so we wanted to kind of give you a preview of the shirt. We love the shirt. And then, have a little pre-class discussion of the Teagarden Tee.
Yes. Teagarden Tee. I'm wearing mine. I'm wearing it in a solid jersey knit. And the online class, like Betsy said, is coming out on Saturday. So if you join this online workshop, you'll get access to our online class, which releases on Saturday. And in this class, we're teaching you all the tips and tricks for making a Teagarden Tee. We're teaching you how to work with jersey fabric. We're teaching you how to do gussets. We're teaching you how to do a dart, sew a dart. And you're going to learn the techniques that are involved in making the Teagarden Tee in a video format. And then as well as the online class, you also have Zoom Q&As. So there are 2 Zoom Q&As with every online class that we have. The first one, we actually teach you a technique. So we're teaching you a technique that I'll show you here shortly in the Teagarden Tee. And then the second one is a show and tell. We've been having a lot of fun this year with So Confident with our show and tells. It's a time on Zoom where all of our attendees come and they show us what they've been making for that month. Sometimes it's the project of the month. Sometimes it's other things they've been sewing. I think we've been having a really good time. So online class, 2 Zoom Q&As. It's a lot of fun. And we always love to promote our online workshops, but this one in particular, the Teagarden Tee, is just such an interesting construction. When we think of constructing a t-shirt, we of course think of a front, a back, a sleeve, a neck binding maybe a collar, maybe a stand. And we think of the traditional way of constructing a t-shirt. And that's pretty ingrained in our minds. But with the Teagarden Tee, it's nothing like you've seen before. The pattern piece, let me just hold it up. The pattern piece is quite interesting. So it's all one piece. So you've got the sleeve, front, back, and collar, we're calling it, in the pattern piece. So if you've purchased the Teagarden Tee, like we've mentioned, we've had it available for about a month or so already. If you purchase this, we highly recommend getting the online class because we're going to show you how to construct this garment in the class. So today we're going to talk about fabrics for the Teagarden Tee. We've got jersey knits for you guys. We're talking about the Teagarden Tee and knits, but this is a versatile garment. We've made it in a lot of different types of fabrics. The first fabrics that we featured last month involved 2 kits. This is our jungle green kit. We have a few kits available of this left, and we love these kits that we selected last month in just these bright, bold colors. So this is our jungle green kit in a knit. We have this available, and we also have the magenta colorway. Erin is actually wearing this, and I'm going to call Erin up, and she's going to just talk a little bit about how she made hers. And she had us an interesting detail on her Teagarden Tee. Again, this is the magenta kit, and we have kits available for this as well in her lovely metro skirt. And she did something slightly different. So you notice here on this Teagarden Tee, this is the front seam, and you also have a back seam on the Teagarden Tee. And her front seam, she added a black and white stripe piece.
I did. I love these prints that we use for the Teagarden. I think we've done the Teagarden in so many different prints and stripes and solids, but we thought this large print would really make a statement. I think when you initially think about large prints, maybe you want to see the entire print or you want to have it on a garment that's very simple. But the thing I think is really unique about the Teagarden is it's divided up. You have a center front seam, a center back seam. And I think it was a great opportunity to really play with this print and kind of break it up, make it a little bit more graphic than a traditional floral print. So when I had it at home, I had it laid out on my table, and I was playing around with the pattern piece, that unique pattern piece. And I thought it would be really great to divide the center front and the center back with a black and white stripe, because we have so many black and white stripes. We always have them on hand. And of course, I had some in my stash. So I decided to make it a feature on the center back and on the center front.
Love it so much.
I remember I was texting Kathy when I was doing it, and I was like, "What do you think? Do you think this is going to work?" She's like, "I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work." But I decided to do it anyways. I went for it, and I really like the result. So I think it worked out.
I think if Erin were a fabric, she would be black and white stripe.
I think that's accurate.
if we were all fabrics, what would we be? Looks great. So this is the kit for the magenta. So if you buy a Teagarden Tee, we have a few different kits, which we're going to talk about. But we have the original Teagarden Tee kits. This is the magenta colorway. And in it comes enough fabric to make the Teagarden Tee, as well as thread. And this is the magenta kit. Or no, I'm sorry, jungle green, also with thread. So these are the 2 original kits that we launched last month. Some of them are still available. And
if you're interested in the black and white stripe, we do have a cotton and spandex cotton stripe that we love, or jersey stripe that we love. And so it's this one here. So this would make a great addition if you want to add the stripe at the center. And here's the print. I love it. The thing that's great about this print is there's so many colors that you can really grab. And so the ones that you love, start messing around with that piece to see where you want it to land. I wanted it to land on magenta colors. That was kind of my goal, not necessarily matching the print. I was thinking about the color.
We're both wearing the Teagarden Tee with our metro skirts. So Erin's wearing it in the silk noil, and I'm wearing it in a crinkled polyester that we featured both of these in other live streams. But we think that the Teagarden goes really well with the metro skirt, which is also a pattern we launched last month. But in the online class, we're going to talk a little bit about styling and what other ways you can wear the Teagarden Tee with.
Should we show people the full length just in case they
Yes.
haven't seen it yet? Betsy, do you want to switch it over to the other camera and
Sure
just give
thing.
people a little preview just in case they haven't seen some of our other. You want to show off Alex first?
So here I am. This is the pattern length of the metro skirt, and then I had to wear it with these shoes. So you guys get the full experience here.
Alex, we have a question on what size of Teagardens you are both wearing.
So I'm wearing an extra large, and the sleeves length is the same. And I think, but I can't remember, I think I have made it the XXL length. I always love things a little bit longer. And I also did a little bit of alteration because I don't love things that are terribly fitted around my stomach and my waist. So I did extend the, I guess you call it side seams out a bit to just change that curve.
So it just goes to XL. So I wonder if you just added a little bit to the bottom.
Okay.
So, but you want me to I'll stand over here and
What about you, Erin? What size are you wearing?
I'm wearing a medium Teagarden, and it hasn't been lengthened or anything, so just straight from the pattern, medium. And then this is the magenta metro skirt.
Nice.
So.
Skirt's so cute.
So cute. All right. Let's talk about another version of a kit that we have for the Teagarden Tee. Kathy actually came up with this t-shirt concept. Although if you ask Kathy, I think she'll tell you that Linda told her to make it this way. So either Kathy or Linda, you're welcome to come up and talk about this. I'm just being like a master podcaster here and just calling on people randomly with my little peanut gallery that's sitting across from me. So this is the striped Teagarden. We have created 3 striped Teagarden kits and 1 using our cubist fabric that we'll show. But this was the original striped Teagarden that we came up with and Kathy made by perhaps Linda's suggestion. So, but what's great about this striped fabric or striped kit is this detail at the bottom where we have used an alternate knit in the same color and just added this to the bottom hems for both the bottom and the arm. And it's raw edge, and it's just a zigzag stitch that was used to secure that striped detail in place. So Linda, where did you get this idea? What made you think of it?
Well, I can't imagine that I dreamed it up on my own. I probably saw some sort of a detail like this on a garment someplace. So on this one, which was the first one, I used a trim that's an interlock so it doesn't curl. So I just have a 1-inch strip of trim, a stripe, and I've just zigzagged it onto the bottom of the t-shirt. So when Kathy made this, she was using a jersey. So of course a jersey curls and it curls to the right side. So there's very little difference, although this is a flat trim and this is a curled trim. But we're going to be talking about how to do these 2 trims plus what Erin has. We're going to be talking about that in the first Q&A if you sign up for the class. So I just have the Teagarden Tee on in a print. Mine is a size medium. I actually put on a small this morning, which I could get on, but like you, I'm a little more sensitive about my middle. So there was, I like the looser fit down here. Obviously the sleeves are long because they fit Erin, they fit Alex, and they're long on me. But, I do like to do this. So that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many interesting details in the Teagarden. And I'll just bring this one over again. It's just a solid version. This is a knit fabric. But what I love, and already I've gotten compliments on this and wearing it, people ask me, what is this, a collar? What is this, like they're very intrigued by this neck detail. And really, the online class is worth getting for just understanding the construction and how the pattern piece comes together. But you have these cool tucks here in the neck, And then the collar kind of comes together. There's a seam in the back, and you'll learn how to slip stitch this collar in place once it's ready. The darts, again, I mentioned, there are 2 shoulder seam darts that you'll learn how to do. You'll learn how to insert a dart.
And then the gusset. There are 4 sides to inserting this gusset. And we'll show you how to do that and which side to start on, because there is kind of an order to it that's a little bit better. Actually, Alex, I think this back seam is a good place to do some increasing if you need a little more room. Then you don't interfere with the gussets, although you can work with the side seams into the gussets for sizing as well. But this back seam is a pretty good seam to work with, and the front seam as well.
And in the class, we'll talk about a lot of the tips and tricks involving with just preparing this garment. I think a lot of the work, if not most of the work, really comes from preparing your Teagarden Tee pattern and making sure you have the right markings, making sure you're using interfacing in the right places, and making sure that you're securing things. And I mean, I've said this a lot, but I've learned from Kathy Davis that cutting out a pattern is sometimes more important than the making of the pattern. So Kathy spends sometimes way more time getting cut out than actually making the garment. So
And
this is
marking.
one of those instances where
You want to come up here, Kathy?
the pattern
Talk about some of these
preparation
other ones.
is important.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is true to the pattern, the Teagarden. And we also have another version of it lengthened as a dress. So Kathy, tell me, what do you like about the Teagarden?
Well, if you're going to wear a t-shirt, it is such a unique knit garment. It's like you said before, it's not the crew neck that you buy from Gap, but still have the same properties of just a casual shirt, but really. I remember a couple years ago, a lady came in and she had made the t-shirt. And I got amused. She said, it's such a flattering shirt on me. She said, even my pastor looked at me differently. So, it may have some sexy lines to it. Well, I think it does. I mean, for people who like to wear V-necks and then the curve in the waist, I mean, it gives your body shape.
Did you make this one?
No, Erin made that
Erin
one.
made this one. So this is the Teagarden lengthened as a dress. And this is a border print fabric where she's used that border for the front and just, I guess, the front seam. But you can lengthen this pattern and make it into a tunic or dress length. And otherwise, the sleeves are long and you can...
and this is like a viscose jersey. That's
So what are some other ones you've made? We've got some samples up here.
When we made these garments earlier, we had more soft fabrics. I mean, they weren't all 2-way or 4-way stretches. This again, I think this was a wool, just textured. But most of them that is serged. Most of them you do not have to do any serging on it. I didn't do any serging on any of them that we made. If you have a knit, it will not ravel. And so sometimes I think serging just adds bulk to the seams. So here's another one. This one is a wool jersey. In white.
We have a couple of wool jerseys now.
Oh, you do? Oh, great. Can't wait.
They're hard to find.
They are hard to find. And then this one, again, is a really slinky, I would say this is a rayon jersey. Again, nothing is serged in here. You can just leave your seam allowances with raw edges after you press them open.
So what's something you learn every time you make the Teagarden?
Well, I think the most important thing you will find in this pattern is to make sure you have everything marked from your pattern. You know, when you're cutting it out, kind of give yourself time to orient yourself of how many dots do I have to do. And even if you don't want to do dots, it's essential. And find out, you know, where the front is. If you're using a print fabric, you know, it will give you some. I mean, this you cannot choose how your grain line goes, but you do want to get the front of it fairly as have a symmetry to it.
Mhm. So here's some other ones, and you see the versatility of this garment in the pattern selections and sorry, the fabric selections.
Yes,
So,
this is a velveteen. Kind of almost just a little stretch to it. That is really beautiful. That with some party pants, this would take you anywhere.
There was a woman actually on our Zoom Q&A show and tell last month that had the original Teagarden Tee, and she said she loves it. She just wore it as a black knit top, and she wears it with her office clothes, and it's like her go-to black nice shirt.
I agree.
So
yes.
And here it is again in a stripe.
This feels like a cotton. And here, the only time you really, if you're doing a stripe, you just want to pay attention to your center front, and then the rest of it will just fall. I mean, you have no choice of where everything else falls, which is really interesting. And see, the back will come in as kind of a chevron.
Another interesting thing too with this that you're going to learn in the class is the hems and how to stabilize the hems, and just getting a really nice clean hem on this Teagarden Tee is really important. So we'll talk about in the class the key elements for executing the perfect hem for the Teagarden. All right, let me show the remaining kits that we have for our striped kits. So I mentioned we have 3 stripe colorways. This is our pink striped Teagarden kit. So in the kit, you get fabric yardage for this main fabric, and then you also get a strip of fabric for adding this hem detail. So we have 3 colorways in this. This is the pink. This is the kit for that stripe. We have teal. So kind of this lovely sort of baby teal with the alternating white in the same color. And then we also have the yellow kit. So instead of an alternating yellow stripe for the bottom, we've actually paired this yellow kit with our black and white stripe for the bottom detail, which is kind of fun. So this is the yellow kits that you'd get for your striped Teagarden kit with the black and white stripe, aka Erin in fabric. And then the 4th kit we have uses a stripe, but the main fabric is our wonderful, ever popular cubist knit fabric. So this would be the main body of the shirt. And then we've used our black and white stripe. So those are our striped kits for the Teagarden. Anything else I've missed, ladies? Do we have any questions so far, Betsy?
We do have questions. Let me go back to the beginning. Let's talk about bust fitting on the Teagarden. Is it generous enough for a full bust with the dart and cut-on sleeves?
For bust fitting for the Teagarden, is it generous enough for Maybe just repeat it once more, Betsy.
Sure. Is it generous enough for a full bust, I assume adjustment, with the dart and cut-on sleeves?
I think the Teagarden is really generous in the bust. If you need some extra fullness, I think you can do a full bust adjustment on this without a dart, which is in our Fashion Encyclopedia booklet.
Okay.
You probably could put a dart in it actually that comes out of the gusset, but it would be nice to not have it.
Yeah. How short can you shorten the sleeves?
Oh, right here, if you want to. Well, you have to stay out of the gusset. So probably to here. Okay, put your arm down. You can probably do this if you want it really short.
Okay.
But for sure, you could come from the bottom and go 3 or 4 inches or whatever.
It has a shorten.
It does have a lengthen and shorten line on it.
Okay. Do the pockets on the Metro skirt show when paired with the Teagarden?
Slightly. Erin has it on, and I think you see the bottom of the pockets. If you wanted to shorten the Teagarden a little bit, you'd see even more. You see about an inch, a couple inches of the pocket. Here's Erin.
Yeah,
If you
just
shortened it 1 hem length, you'd see a little bit more. Or you can tuck it in.
okay. How far does the front opening come down?
How far what now?
This front opening.
How far does it come down? So what is that? 5, 6 inches?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's
Yeah,
not
4 or
full
5 inches.
cleavage. Yeah. So it's still it's still above the cleave, but it does go down about
Yeah.
a little bit.
This is somewhat of an option of where you stop this. You can come up a little bit, come down a little bit, not a lot. There is a seam that folds under and gets stitched up here, but I think you could alter that a tiny bit.
Okay. Roxanne loves the Teagarden. She thinks it's very slimming, and I agree. Lynn says she still has her original pattern and she wears it quite a bit, which is lovely. We do want to know what Kathy is wearing, although I have my suspicions that it is her favorite shirt.
She has on a Zen shirt.
She has on a Zen shirt, and we do not have that fabric, so sorry, kids.
No.
How do we adjust for a forward sloping shoulder?
All the work is done in this dart. Pretend like this is a shoulder seam. So if you need to do forward adjustment, you would swing this dart. If you need to do balancing, you bring the whole dart forward. So you manipulate this dart like you would a shoulder seam.
Okay, interesting. Can this be made in a woven?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Everything can be done like that. So for me to say you can't is pretty harsh, but you've got to do some serious fitting with eases to make it in a woven.
Okay. Is the old printed pattern the same as the new one, new digital?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've updated the instructions and the layout, but the pattern is the same.
Yes. Debbie wants to know, how do you make the dress?
There are lengthen and shorten lines on the pattern, and you use that to lengthen it however far you want.
Just as easy as that? You don't have to...
I can't tell you how much this has been lengthened, but I'm going to say something like 15 inches or so. But yeah, there are lengthen and shorten lines to do it.
It's cute. I think maybe in the gallery we have a photo of Erin in the dress. We should dig that up so people can see it because she looks really nice
I
in
think
it.
this can be a dress or a tunic.
Mm-hmm.
You could wear it with slim pants, leggings, whatever, or take it way down. I think you can lengthen it as much as you want to.
And perhaps, Betsy, if people want to see the full length, maybe if that other camera looks good.
Yeah, sure. Here, I can switch it over. No problem. Here we go. you. You know me, if I'm gonna make it, I'll probably go with the dress
Oh,
version.
Yep. It's probably in Erin's future too to make another one.
Yeah. It just seems like a really nice, comfortable knit dress, but like with a little
And
extra.
Samantha asked me the same question too, so you know she's going to make a dress.
Uh-huh. Got the
I
dress
think Samantha will
brigade.
like this because it's shaped already. She doesn't
Mhm.
have to do her own shaping, which she
Yeah.
generally does in a dress, adds a belt. I don't know if a belt is quite right for this garment. It would go over the gusset, but I'm not sure. She'll try it, I'm sure.
Yeah. What are the
You
sizes
wore it
in
with
the
a belt?
pattern?
Okay. Belt is good.
Okay. What are the sizes in the pattern?
Extra small, or is it just small to extra large? Yep. Small to extra large.
Okay. Does the class give specific instructions on making the tea garden, or is it
Yes. Start
okay?
to finish, every
Okay.
single detail from the prep work of how to mark it. We have a special way to mark it, interfacing all the particular sections, forming the collar and tuck, putting in the gusset, hemming, seam finishes. It's full on everything you need to know.
Okay. That concludes the questions so far.
Okay.
All right, so our sale this week includes jersey knit fabrics that we think are perfect for the Teagarden Tee. So in the sale, you'll see these fabrics. And so a lot of them, I guess, yeah, we love a solid knit today, just like what I'm wearing. And I'm liking this. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure about the Teagarden at first. I think if you look at patterns on paper or you even see them, I have the luxury of seeing them in person, but trying them on, and I wasn't sure, but actually making it, learning the construction and actually finding a way for it to fit me really like benefited my idea and kind of concept of the Teagarden. So I really enjoy this pattern. It's just a very fun construction. It's kind of like a lesson in geometry, a lesson in angles, and just like I mentioned, a different way to construct a shirt. So it's one of those patterns if you don't trust where it's going, just follow step by step and trust the process, as they say. So I'm going to show you guys some jersey knits that we have on sale, and then talk about, again, what you can purchase this week. So we have this really pretty kind of peachy peach jersey knit. And these are just so soft. They have cotton in them. Coral is what we call it. So it's a coral cotton jersey. We have our black and white stripe. And you saw this with our stripe kits and the other stripe that Kathy showed. When you make the Teagarden in a stripe, that back comes together kind of like a chevron. So really interesting because of the pattern piece, just how the pieces go together. So we have our black and white stripe. This we are not selling by the yard. We are just selling it as a kit. So we have the magenta Teagarden kit available as part of our selections this week. More solid colors. I love how these go together. This is, what do we call it? Scarlet. This is a scarlet jersey cotton. Just a really bright, nice orange. And then down here, perhaps a little bit harder to see, a really soft, really drapey purple. This is called, it doesn't have the name on it, but Betsy could probably mention it if you know or can find it.
I do. It is, where did it go? It is amethyst.
Amethyst. Here is we call this aquamarina. Just a lovely,
Does that go with the kit, the stripe kit?
I believe so. Yeah.
Not quite.
Yeah, it is different actually.
Yeah.
Slightly different than our kit for the stripes, but
I think you could put it with the other stripe.
yeah, I mean, like Erin did with hers, it's interesting to think of, just another kind of scrap or strip of something, even a strip of something that's printed to go with these solids that you might want to just include either on the front and back like Erin or on the bottom hem. So there are other things to pair, and we could always help you if you liked one of the solid fabrics and wanted to have an added detail to it. You could call the office or let us know, and we could help you find just another kind of paired selection that would go with a solid. Here's another one we call this coastal teal.
Oh no, that's grass green.
Oh, okay. Grass green. Sorry, grass green.
Yep.
Was this one coastal teal? No. Okay. Grass green. This is just a nice bright blue. We're calling this aqua. This is like the color of summer, just by the water. Lovely. And the last one, kind of our Linda's go-to color. This is fresh citron. So any of these solid jerseys would go great with the Teagarden. These are on sale. So all of these fabrics, all of our solid jersey knit fabrics are on sale. And then not on sale, but available are our striped kits. Again, we have pink, we have teal, we have our cubist faces, and we have our yellow. I'll grab it just because. So these are available to purchase, although not on sale. As well as available to purchase the magenta and jungle green Teagarden kits. And then not on sale, but available to purchase the Teagarden Tee pattern. It is a digital pattern, sizes small through extra large. And the Teagarden, oh, of course, the Teagarden online course. So yeah, anything else, Betsy?
Well, we do have a couple other questions that I'd like to run through quickly. If your fabric is directional, how do you deal with the layout?
If the fabric is directional, how you deal with that?
Mm-hmm.
I would make sure that the front is how you like it. I guess it depends on the fabric, but if I would get the front oriented and then the sleeve should fall into place and the back might be upside down or something like that. So I guess you have to look at your print and see if it looks good in multiple directions.
Okay.
But for sure, I'd get the front as you want it.
Does the main stretch on the Teagarden have does the two-way stretch go vertical or horizontal?
On which one?
It says, does the main stretch on the Teagarden with a two-way stretch go vertical or horizontal?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Most would be horizontal. If it's a solid, is that velour one two-way or four-way?
Which one?
The velour one. This one is going vertically on the front. I think I made this, didn't I? And so it's horizontal on the back. Boy, I'm not sure it makes any difference. We're looking at a couple of them here to see if there's any.
All right, so this one has more
Stretch on the vertical, the horizontal.
horizontal.
Okay, so this other one is opposite what this is. So I guess it doesn't make any difference. Either the front or the back is going to be horizontal, and either the front or the back is going to be vertical. So I think if it's a motif, you pick the motif. If it's a solid, doesn't matter.
I would choose a cross. I mean, this has a little more restricted,
Yeah,
and this
that's
one-
my sense too, to try to get as much of it across as you can and see what happens. No, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go across.
Okay. Did Erin lengthen her sleeves?
No, her sleeves are the length they are, so they are long. So
Okay.
on me, if I want it to be straight, I'm probably going to shorten these sleeves about 3 inches on me.
Okay.
But neither Alex or Erin shortened their sleeves, so they run long.
Can we see the back of Erin's Teagarden again?
Sure.
Cool.
Can you get closer?
Yeah.
Back it up.
Run it.
Very nice. Thank you. It looks like Alex's top is longer in the back. Is that part of the design?
She made this straight out of the pattern. If I were to tell her to do this differently the next time, I would have her bring her shoulder seams forward about 1/2 inch. That would help balance it. And I would have her cut the front a little bit lower in the very center front. So to curve it more, because it is riding back on her. And so this is pulling up.
Okay. If you added to the back seam to increase the width / size, would that create issues around the collar?
No, because you would dye it into the original collar width. I don't think anybody would need a larger collar section. So you would start here, and this on the pattern, this comes in pretty close. You can straighten that out, and you can add quite a bit to this back, which is what she did actually. She kind of straightened out this back curve so it didn't come in quite as much. But no, I wouldn't get into the collar area. I mean, you can, and then yes, you would add the same amount to the collar that you added to the top here if you need it. But if I doubt if very many people need it.
Okay. And there's a question about the stripe. Oh, how is the stripe down the front of the dress done? The dress is a border print.
Yeah, that's part of the fabric.
So Erin laid her perfectly so that she could get that.
Right. So this was
printing.
probably cut on the cross grain.
Mm-hmm. And kudos to her for matching those polka dots so well.
Yeah.
They look beautiful. And Mary, Alex is wearing an extra large shirt with a little adjustment.
Right.
And I think that's it.
Okay.
All right. So again, as far as sale, you've got a lot of selections of jersey knits to choose from for the Teagarden Tee.
I want to say something about this stripe. You're going to order at least a yard of this because you're going to want to cut this if you're going to use it as trim on the lengthwise so that the stripes are perpendicular to whatever edge you're putting them on. But that's okay. You're going to want to have the whole rest of the width anyway for lots of other projects. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, you can have all your necklines black and white stripe.
Or you can order a kit where you already have the pieces cut for you, ready to go. Well, almost ready to go.
One last question, and then we will call it. What is the sway back adjustment for the dress? Is that possible?
A sway back adjustment for the dress?
Mm-hmm. Or I guess the shirt as well.
Sway back. Are you talking about round back, sway back? You're talking, well, sway backs usually take a tuck right here. So you would do that. You have a back piece. So you would do whatever you normally do if you have a sway back and you make your adjustments on all your patterns. Whatever tuck you take, you're going to take it in the back of this.
All right.
There is a waistline marking on this pattern, so you know where the waist is. So you can do it right there or wherever your waist is.
Excellent. All right. Well, that is it on my end. So
Okay.
thank you, ladies, for a lovely presentation. We're all going to run out and make our Teagarden tees.
That's right.
Yeah, and don't forget about the online class that's available.
On Saturday.
It releases on Saturday, but you can purchase the class now for $75, and you'll get access to the video course as well as the 2 Zoom Q&As and just all the tips and tricks we have regarding the Teagarden Tee. So that's
All right.
it. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you guys
Alex.
next week.
Thank you, Betsy.